It's Batman time! Hello, welcome to another figure review. Today we're gonna have a look at the McFarlane Toys Batman White Knight, which is another one of the many different Batman comics in a different universe with a different design. Very stylized, and I like it. I got an Azrael from the exact same comic book, also from McFarlane Toys, so I really just had no choice. I felt like I had to get this one, so let's have a look. Now, I've been a fan of this design already, but the main reason I haven't picked this one up earlier is because some of the weird choices that were used to make this figure. Now, having looked at the size, he stands at about 17.5 centimeters to the top of his head, which means we're going up to almost 9 inches tall. For your size comparisons, I have here's Jolter, McFarlane Curse of the White Knight Azrael, Marfax Hush Batman, and Darkseid. For your look and detail of the figure, starting off with the head, and he does have them squinty eyes, but still they made some dots in there, kind of squeezed that in. There seems to be also a little bit too much paint on the mouth. Now the black isn't really bleeding through, and I guess that's kind of why they plastered it on. It does look only weird if you're really zooming in as much as right now. If you're not gonna notice that, if he's just standing on the shelf. Now I don't know what's going on with his mouth over here. You got like the black line, which I don't feel like it's lined up properly, and then you have a little bit of orange. It's kind of make up for a lip. I don't know. That one's just weird. Got a bunch of wrinkles in the forehead, very accurate to the comic book, and that's really one of the things that I really like about this design. The comic book is super exaggerated proportions, which we have a look at in a second. I also want to have a look at the cape. There's tons of wrinkles in it, and it's fairly small. It is soft plastic cape, and you know, I like that. I hate the big capes that just get into the way. We've had some of those. You got the big black bat symbol on his chest, and really a lot of gray plastic throughout the rest of the figure. Great muscle work and huge arms, which there's one of the problems I had. It's kind of weirdly molded. Well, first of all, you just have a big hinge, which looks fairly ugly, and you can't really straighten it out. It always goes up in an angle like that. And I know it's supposed to be exaggerated, but still, the muscle work over here, it's just kind of weird how it folds into the forearm, and then the forearm's just kind of more round. It's a minor qualm I have with it. Then you have the black lines. And the fist, which is on a ball hinge. On this one is fairly nicely hidden. I know the McFarlane Toys had some problems with the ball hinges in the hand, kind of sticking out too much on some other releases. And you have a huge belt in a nice yellow, goes on all throughout it. I don't know if this is supposed to be painted like this. There's the kind of hooks that go in there. And you have a small plastic knife, which is completely just squeezed in there. It's always just being pushed back by the huge muscle work. You have giant boots with some more detail on there with the knees. Those are double hinged at least. And some more spiky stuff on his feet. Overall, it's a good representation of the comic book version. As far as articulation goes, this guy mostly gets the job done, except for the head. It's pretty limited. It has some back and forward motion. You can really push it up a little bit more. It does get held back by the collar, but forward motion, nah. Does tilt side to side a little bit, and it would go all the way around, but you can tell it already moves up again due to the collar pushing it down. Also, he has a gray neck and the black cowl. I don't know if that is actually accurate, and looking at the artwork in there, he's not. Anyway, for your shoulders, you have a big hinge in there, goes up and have some rotation. Not really that much because I didn't leave that much room, but it is there. So there's something, can rotate it. Swivel on the bicep, and then the one big hinge in the elbow, which has some stuff in here that makes it ratcheted. So it does have some very good stability. Ball hinge on the fist is ratcheted, same thing, goes back and forth. Rotation all the way around, no issue there. Chest area, barely anything. It does have just some wiggle motion, and you can pull it side to side, but other than that, not much to speak of. Lower torso goes also all the way around and has some wiggle motion. But if you combine these two, you still get some good poses out of it. Back and forth. So that's fine. For your legs, they move up, move out to the side, and does move to the back somewhat. Rotation in the thigh. Double hinge knees, which looks okay. Does the upper hinge move more forward? Yeah, there you go. And then for your foot, you have the hinge, the ball hinge in there, back, forward, and does tilt side to side very nicely, and a toe hinge to round off your articulation, which goes up all the way, by the way. Now for your accessories, you have a batarang with a rope on it. Doesn't have a wire in it, so it will always kind of curl up like that. You can still wrap that around his hands because it is soft plastic. Then we have the exact same thing, just kind of tied up just to hold him, for him to hold it. And the grappling gun, grappling hook, which is weirdly angled over here. I guess it's just a little bit warped. We have some nice metallic on sides, some detail in the front over there. That looks pretty cool. Let me zoom in on that real quick. Astounding amount of detail for such a small piece, actually. And then you have the base inside of the box. If you don't want to take that out, it's in there forever. And then you got a card with the artwork from the comic book, which really displays them very nicely. Here's the back of the card, by the way, if you care about that. Yes, I did take it out. I did sacrifice that for you, but I kind of want the base. Because, final thoughts of this figure. I just get the bad out of the way, the stability. I have a little bit of issues getting him into dynamic poses because the feet are also ratchet, which is a blessing and a curse. On one hand, it holds very well together, but on the other hand, since it's ratchet, it always kind of locks into place. It's not freely movable as such. I really have trouble moving the feet around and getting him into good poses. I did take some, but still, it is a bit more of a pain than I want it to be. For the rest of the figure, it looks absolutely fantastic, like with all these McFarlane toys recently. I have no problems with the molds, the designs, the paint job. The articulation is nice. It does have some weird decisions, like the one just kind of weird, ugly looking hinge in the elbow. But then again, he does have like a big, muscly body sculpt. I guess if you would have made some double hinges, it would have looked potentially even weirder. So I can forgive that. I can look over that. And at the end of the day, I still think the package, what you're getting from this figure, is absolutely worth it, especially considering a relatively low price point that McFarlane is selling these at. So I do recommend this one. And that's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever Batman wants. Also the right color on his neck over here.